family. This is Coach Micheal Burt. I'm so glad to be with you. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I just got to the Moxie Hotel, and I've been speaking actually at a big insurance conference in Dallas, Texas. I just flew in, and I'm honored that the SLS team would have me on your call to bring everybody back, get everybody going. You know, over the last 28 years, I've coached people of all walks of life. I have started as a junior pro basketball coach, then an elementary coach, then a high school coach. Then I began to coach companies and corporations. I spent 4 years of my life inside the prison system, rehabilitating offenders. And what I have really come to understand are principles of life, principles of success, patterns. And what I've really become a specialist at over the last 28 years is activating the prey drive in a person. And this is important because as you acclimate back to a world that you were in, I have some theories. Number one, when you don't work the muscle, you lose it. When you don't use it, you lose it, man. The first time you don't do something, you give yourself permission not to do it the next time. It becomes easier. The first time you don't go to the gym, give yourself a chance to get out to go in the next day. First time you don't make the call, give yourself a little bit of permission not to make it the next time. The first time you don't sit down at night and map out your plans for the week, give you permission not to do it the next day. You see, life happens in that rhythm. Your heartbeat's in a rhythm. And when you stay in that rhythm, man, good things happen to you. When you get out of that rhythm, bad things happen to you. So you're acclimating back to life, back to a rhythm, back to a flow, back to a discipline, back to a methodology, back to where you were successful. And I want to encourage you as we come back and acclimate that there are three parts of your prey drive. Prey drive is an instinct. It's an instinctual ability inside of you to see something in the mind, in your imagination, or with the eyes optically, and have the persistence and intensity to pursue it. Right? Each one of you have deep inside you have this prey drive, the ability to get up and see something and pursue it. And the reward becomes the pursuit. It's not actually catching something. It's actually in pursuing something. Your ability to wake up every day and pursue your potential, which is this idea of embryonic growth, that we'll be better today than we were yesterday. We'll be better tomorrow than we are today, that we will never stop getting better. Prey drive has three parts to it. Has to be activated, has to be a persistence to it, and there must be an intensity to it. This drive inside of you has to be activated every single day. Because here's what happens. You get excited, and then you fall off the wagon. You get excited, and then you fall off the wagon. The vicious cycle of people is we start with good intention, we fail to follow through, and then we experience guilt. I think it's easy to activate your prey drive. Get around big-time people. Watch a podcast every morning. Listen to me on YouTube. Sit in your sales meetings at SLS so you can get excited and re-excited every single day. Get around somebody doing something bigger than you. To me, activation of prey drive is, man, I'm exposed to something. I'm enlightened to something. I'm interested in something. I'm engaged in something. I'm being coached by somebody. They are pushing me and creating attention in my life. So to me, the activation part is easy. You can almost self-activate your own prey drive. But where people fall off the wagon, folks, is part two and part three. Persistence. The ability to fight through when you're tired. The ability to get back up when you've been knocked down. The ability to keep on picking up the phone and calling people after you've heard no so many times. The ability to persist, to push through, to keep going. The grit and resilience. This is where people fall off the wagon. They start, they get excited, they fall off the wagon, and then they experience guilt. And that guilt, friends, is associated with grief. What you're grieving is your lost potential. What you're grieving is wasted time and talent. You know, one of the stories that's come back to me over the last few weeks as I've been speaking around the country, because the world's back, folks. I've been on airplanes that are full of people. I've been speaking in conferences with 300 or 400 people. The world is back. It's time to go. It's time to push. It's time to exert. It's time to reach Reach back for that American dream that you've been looking for. But it ain't going to happen by playing scared. It ain't going to happen by contracting. It's not going to happen by living in fear. And I was thinking of a story. I've been asked to give the eulogy at 2 different funerals of friends or family members. And when you give the eulogy of a person, you're looking for something remarkable that they did, something that made their life matter. It made their life count. They did something. They created something. They became something. They started something. They finished something, right? And at least 2 times in my life, I've given the eulogy for 2 different people. And I went to their family members and I said, tell me some big things they did. They said they never really did anything, Coach. I went to their coworkers and I said, tell me something big they did. I said, well, they never really did anything, Coach. They showed up. They had an okay attitude. They never really produced anything. I went to community members that knew them and I said, well, tell me what they did in the community to give back and do something big. They said, Coach, they didn't do anything. And I sat there thinking about, what am I going to say? They never did anything. They never created anything. They never followed through on anything. They never did anything remarkable. They just lived an average and common life. They had all that talent, all that God-given potential, but their prey drive was never activated. And if I'm speaking to you, I want to say something directly to you. You can live your life and allow external factors to affect you, the economy, the environment, the government, this person, that person, or you can say, no. I never allow another person to stand between me and my destiny. I'm going to take back control of that destiny, and I'm going to produce and do the work, have the persistence and intensity that I need. I'm going to push and exert force and energy to become what I'm capable of becoming. And that's what the big time people do. You see, I want to get to the end of my life and have done so many things, so many remarkable things. Oh, that's the guy that created this. Oh, that's the guy that did this. Oh, that's the guy that did this. Oh, that's the guy pushed. So there's so many that you got to pick. What were the top 3? You have that kinetic energy inside of you. You have that talent inside of you, but it'll never manifest. It'll never come through to its logical conclusion until you decide to go pro. The word decide means to kill off. When you're selling people things today, you got to help them kill off fear. But you have to create. You have to initiate. You have to get in the game, because at some point, folks, we leave our amateur desires behind and we make a decision to go pro. Professional leagues are calling you. They're asking you to come back, to get at it, to get in the office, to get on the phones, to make a sale, to create an action. When in doubt, take an action. When in fear, take an action. When you don't know what to do, take an action. Initiate, right? That's how the big time people do it. So the question is, do you want to go pro? Will you activate the prey drive? Will you have a persistence? And will you have an intensity? And will you bring back all that energy and passion that you have to do something big in the world? I'll close with this. Moms and dads used to drop their daughters off to me at 15 years old or 14 years old when I was a high school basketball coach. And they would say, Coach, my daughter's got a lot of potential. She just needs discipline, structure, and accountability and focus. And all she needs, Coach, is a good coach like you. And I would say to them, I just got one tough question to ask you, and you may not like it, but I got to ask. Is your daughter watching you reach your potential? And they would sit there and they go, woo, man, I didn't know you were going to be coaching me. Is it not hypocritical for us to tell our children they have potential if they're not seeing us reach ours? You have potential. You have talent. It is time to get back at it, folks. And it is time to push. I've been all over the world. I've spoken in Miami, Texas, Wyoming. I'm in Phoenix. It's back. We're moving. We're doing it. And all I know how to do is do it and do it and do it. Good things happen to people that exert force and energy toward a goal. Thank you, SLS, for having me this morning. You know, I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. A good coach will have these conversations with you. I'm intense, but I'm positive. So let's make it a big week. Welcome back to SLS. I can't wait for you guys to have the biggest week you've ever had in your life. I'm so proud of you. Stepping up, moving forward, and activating that pray drive in you.